Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comments section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Do apologize for the late start, but we are going to get things up and running with a pretty big leak that happened over the past 2 days. And that is, of course, really the Galaxy S21 FE. Now, this device was rumored for a while, but we actually didn't know if we were going to get it because the S21 itself was looking like, oh, it should, be basically, this is kind of what the FE is. So I'm really curious what things this phone will sacrifice and how much cheaper will it be? Because obviously the regular S21 being $1,000 was the reason why the FE looked so good at, I think it was $749. So what price will the S21 FE be? Will it only be $100 less? Because that might not appeal as much as last year's did. So I'm very curious to see what price point we're getting, and we still don't know that. But what we do know is that it most likely will be 0.2 inches bigger than the S21. If you recall, last year's was the same. It was 0.2 inches bigger than the S20. So we're expecting that. The look is very similar, nothing too much. It has that elastic look. And yeah, I'm just very curious what you guys think. Also, just to look right here, you have the Galaxy A72 and here. So the A72 will actually have another camera that the S21 FE won't. So it's kind of just interesting seeing all these. I am currently testing out the A52 right now. So we'll be going over that over the next week or so. Just kind of going over, it's the international version, so it's a little bit different from the 5G model that will be coming to the US. But it's just kind of interesting because, this is the international version's 350. The US one, I believe, will be 450. And it'll be a 5G model, have 120 hertz as opposed to the 90 hertz display here. But it's just kind of interesting because what price points are we going to for all this? It's very, very interesting how it's going to be in terms of it. So yeah, it's just very interesting in that aspect. All right, then we have some other news about Samsung, and that is that the Galaxy Z Fold Lite will not be coming out this year. So that's obviously the main thing, is that right now the Z Fold Lite will not come out. So we're going to get the Z Flip 2 or 3, whatever they end up calling it. And then we're going to get the Z Fold 3, but there will not be the budgetary-minded device. I am assuming this has to deal with, one, the processor shortage that is plaguing everyone right now, and two, probably they couldn't get the rest of the components to a lower price enough to really make this Lite a viable option. Because you would have to imagine that the Lite should be less even than the Flip. And the Flip is, $1249. So we'll have to see what price point this comes at. I think a Lite version of the Fold should be at around $1,000, maybe at $1,100. But let me know what you guys think. What if it does come out next year, what price would you expect a Z Fold Lite to be realistically? I'm very curious on your guys' thoughts on why this would happen. So yeah. All right, and also we do have some updated news on the Z Fold 3. It does look like we're getting a slightly smaller battery on this model. And I will say this is to be a little bit expected. When we got the S Pen on different models, it sometimes shrunk the battery size in comparison to the Ultra series, for example. We saw this with, I think, the last 2 years of the Note in comparison to the Ultra series. The Ultra had the bigger battery, and Samsung attributed this to the S Pen. So this is going to happen again. Basically, instead of a 4,500 milliamp battery, the Fold is going to have a slightly less battery at 4,380. It'll probably be labeled at 4,300 realistically, but we'll have to wait and see. Because just so you guys know, these are always a little bit rounded up when they're on your phone. So like a 4,500 is what they'll label it as, but it'll actually be 4,400 and something. So I'm very curious to see what we're going to get when it comes to this. Overall, again, I feel like it's to be expected. You have to have room for the S Pen, which does take up room, and that's one of the things it's going to take away from is the battery. Are you guys okay with this? Do you guys think that it should at least have the same battery, if not bigger? I really actually hoped that they would make it wider on each display so that they could fit a bigger battery, but it does not look like that's going to be the case. We're really looking at realistically similar dimensions to what we did last year, which I think kind of sucks because I think Samsung, I don't want to say it's taking it easy this year, but I feel like that the Z Fold 3 is really going to add the S Pen and the camera, which by all means is all that I really wanted from the Z Fold 2, to be fair. But when we've seen designs from Huawei, when we've seen designs from Xiaomi that are quite honestly better looking designs than the Fold, it kind of makes me want, like, I wish Samsung had done a little bit better design increase this year. Obviously, we still don't know everything from it, but everything we've heard is that the front screen will be smaller and the middle screen will be basically about the same size or even a little bit smaller. So that's not what we kind of want to hear. Yes, it's going to be the only one with an S Pen, and that's going to be a huge advantage. But I just feel like they're leaning too much into the pen and camera, which again was the only two things I wanted from the Fold 2. So they're fulfilling that. Can't be too mad at that. But I just, looking at what other designs that have come out, I hope Samsung, if they cruise this year on design, they really step it up next year on design. All right. I thought this was kind of funny, just because, of course, the whole thing about this app is that it's not on Android. So, if you are a Clubhouse user, apparently you got all of your stuff leaked. Clubhouse just got hacked and all the personal data has come out. So yeah, it's something that I just find funny because, you know, the whole thing about your privacy and your security is all that Apple talks about. And if you're an iPhone user, you have to worry about this. If you're an Android user, you don't have to worry about this. To be fair, actually, though, to be legit fair, Android has been plagued by fake Clubhouse apps that people have been signing up for, and it's been malware. So no one's really safe from this kind of stuff ever. But it was something that I thought was interesting. I just wanted to bring it up quickly because it just happened. This is a big platform that got big quickly, and everyone's data just got taken. So yeah. Is anyone using Clubhouse? I'm just curious in the description because I obviously not. I'm not interested in it for the most part. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys have thought about using Clubhouse, if you guys want to. I know there's a Windows-based version, and they currently are testing, beta testing it on the Pixel right now. Some images leaked of that. So yeah, it is going there. All right. As we all know, LG has, we talked about it. It is going away. Obviously, it's already set in motion. The demise of LG Mobile. But what's kind of interesting that I would have to say is, where is all of their resources going to go to? So apparently, one thing Samsung is actually going to be taking from LG is their laser focus technology. Now, Samsung had to go to this technology when they got the huge megapixel sensors. The 108 megapixel sensor does not work with dual pixel autofocus. And the reason why that's a real big thing, to be honest, is because dual pixel autofocus is the fastest focus in the industry. It's what Canon cameras use. It's second to none. It is just so good when it comes to autofocusing. That's why on phones like the S10, the S9, the S8, it was seen as the crown jewel basically in terms of autofocusing. It was just so good as soon as Samsung introduced dual pixel autofocus. But what happened here was that LG did the other route, and they did laser focus. So laser focus is really quick and really fast, and it's not as fast as dual pixel autofocus, but it is second basically. And the thing about this is that Samsung actually needed this when it came to these cameras. So these cameras cannot use dual pixel autofocus. I guess it's something where these sensors aren't able to use it. They're too big on high megapixels, so it's just not compatible with it. Or it could be if it is compatible, it's just too high of a cost to work with it. So they had to go to laser on these past Ultra phones for the Note 20 Ultra. That's why the S20 Ultra had really bad focus, because it did not have anything to replace dual pixel focus with. It just had regular searching for focus issues. The Note 20 Ultra did have a laser focus, and so does the S21 Ultra. So LG basically pioneered this technology on phones, and this going to it is going to be that basically Samsung is going to probably continue to use these as the bigger pixel sensors get more and more popular. Xiaomi is using Samsung's latest pixel sensor that they just created, which we could see on future Android phones. So I'm very curious. I'm going to start looking at the camera comparisons between Xiaomi and Samsung and really seeing how that looks, because right now Samsung is using Sony's best sensor, not their own. But it looks like this new sensor from Samsung is supposed to be really good. So it's a possibility, although we're not going to have a Note this year, it's a possibility that sensor could be on something like the Fold 3 or maybe even the S22 next year. All right. So this was an interesting one, and I find it interesting because I did not realize this company was that company. So Nuance, I think it's how you pronounce their name. I actually have them on my computer on MSI. I guess they partner with them. And this is a really big company because they own Dragon Speaking. And Dragon Speaking was like the originator in terms of text to speech. Before Google, before Apple, and it's actually what Siri used in the beginning years. There isn't confirmation apparently right now what is the current relationship between Apple and this company, but the big news is that Microsoft might be buying them. Now the real interesting part of this is who is using this technology, and that's not really well known. Siri did use it. It was confirmed that Siri did use it when it came out, but I don't know if it's still using it. And again, this was the software you could have on your Windows and on your Mac, Dragon Speaking, that is, which is a part of this company, that basically took dictation. Like, you can write an entire Word document by dictating to it with this software, and that's what it was known for. You can even type emails, everything, all through voice activation. And this software was really good at predicting punctuation, everything. So Microsoft buying this is a probable licensing play, if I know Microsoft, because that's what they do. They always are in it for the licensing. I am guaranteeing that probably at least one of the major three companies are using this software right now. Whether it be Apple, whether it be Google, or whether it be Amazon for Alexa, one of them are probably using this right now, and this is a play really for Microsoft to just make money, and no company got it, so it was like, sure, why not? Apparently, right now the talks are around 16 billion, and we could get the deal closed this week. So we'll have to wait and see, but that is basically fresh news that's coming forth about this company, and we'll see how it goes. All right, now this one is just like was a head smack for me, like really. So obviously Sony is doing very well with their PlayStations right now, right? They cannot keep them in stock. Of course, that is because of all of the chip shortages and everything right there. But the interesting thing about that is that this is causing them to finally, and I mean finally, um, think about mobile. Because this is something that I've been saying for probably since 2013, 2014, that I have said Sony made the biggest miss with this phone right here that they comment on, the Xperia Play, because instead of trying to make a phone that has exclusivity on Sony PlayStation stuff, they should have just brought every old PlayStation game to like their own version of a store. Basically, what all these other companies are now doing, like, you know, what Amazon has. I mean, it's so funny because like we have these licensing things with Epic and all this kind of stuff. Like Sony could have taken care of this a long time ago and had this kind of great debate that basically it could have brought all of its PS1, PS2, and now at this era PS3 games to mobile, basically. Because the obviously there are emulators that can do all of that now, right? There's emulators as far as up to PS3 now for current gen smartphones and tablets on Android. So why didn't Sony do this themselves and create this whole thing? Apparently they're looking for a head of mobile right now and they're going to, you know, begin making a play for mobile, but this is just so late. Like this should have happened so long ago. And I remember like my most popular videos when I first got started, some of them were how to connect a PlayStation controller because PlayStation controllers, PS2 and up, just worked on Android. They just worked. You connected it, boom, it worked. So it was something that I was always like, why haven't they advertised this? Why haven't they gone over this? And so this one was just one that I was just like, I can't believe they're finally doing it. At least they are finally doing it. But yeah, this was a real big one for me. I was just like, well, I guess better late than never. That's how it is. All right, guys, that was the news for this week. Now let's get started with your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. I did get the vaccine today. That the shoulder thing is real. Your shoulder is in pain. Not pain, but just it really is sore for sure. Just that little movement, moving up and down, harder with when they put the shot in. All right. Whoa. Oh, Cornelius with the Super Chat donation. And yes, that was funny. So I did just talk about a deal with Sofa Baton, right? On the last, if you haven't been watching our tech deals videos, please watch it because I'm debating right now on keeping them or not because of the lack of views. They really are averaging under 500 views, and for me to really keep this, I need it to hit about 1,000. So if you can, guys, really do. If you want me to keep doing the tech deal videos, please watch them. So I know that they're worth doing. Because they take about 3 to 4 hours to come up with all those deals, put them in the website and everything like that. So please let me know by watching them. But yes, so Cornelius is right. I talked about that deal, which was a really big deal, and Logitech just announced that they are dropping their Harmony remotes that have been famous for a long time. But I really do believe that Harmony didn't keep up with the trends, you know? They hadn't updated it as much as they should have. So I saw that as like, yeah, it makes sense because of the fact that they didn't back it enough to actually do it right. Hey, Paul, thank you so much for the Super Chat donation as well. What is the best way to transfer text messages from one Android to another Android device? Thank you for the great channel. The best way is the ones that do it for you. Meaning, if you have Samsung Smart Switch, OnePlus Transfer, those will transfer text messages. That is the best way because they do it the best. Samsung is the best at it. Smart Switch is the king of transfer. Always has been. I still haven't seen anyone really do it as well as they have. But like I know Pixel does it. They don't always do the text messages as right. Again, OnePlus does a pretty good job at it. LG did an okay job too. But yeah, it's one thing like when I get like a phone, like a Red Magic, right? It's one thing that really is a pain point because I can't transfer over everything. So I actually have to find a new app for that because what I used to use and what I still have because I can transfer over is T-Mobile actually had a transfer content app. You do not have to have a T-Mobile phone to do that, to use it. But they have discontinued it on the Play Store. You can still get it on a website like APK Mirror, and get the T-Mobile. I think it's called Content Transfer or something like that, and that will transfer over text messages. You have to download it on both devices, and same kind of thing that Smart Switch and all those other things are. But that one has been the most reliable one to transfer calls and text messages on there. Again, Android has it built in, but I do see inconsistencies with that one that I wish were more foolproof. So yeah, definitely let me know which device you're using it on. That would help kind of figure it out. But I'll also keep my eye out on looking for a new app to do it because again, T-Mobile one was the one that I had used for about 3 or 4 years when I wasn't transferring to a Samsung. And before OnePlus had it, they didn't always have it. So that was another thing that I was trying to use when I was using not one of those devices. All right, guys, let me go check out the beginning questions. Thank you so much to Cornelius and Paul for your super chat donations. I really do appreciate it. All right. Hello there. Acknowledge me. What a main event. Yes, I did watch WrestleMania both nights, and yes, I think I should start saying, acknowledge me as the head of the tech table. It's just I think what needs to be acknowledged. For all those who watch WWE, you get that joke. All right. Greetings from London, 5 a.m. here. Well, good morning. I hope you've had some coffee or tea to brighten your day. Anyway, thanks for recommending Chromecast as a way to stream from my laptop remotely to the TV. Good, I'm glad that worked out. Following up on that, I want to send a sound from my headphone jack remotely to my sound system, which takes a mini jack as TV speakers aren't that good. Okay. So you want to send a sound from a headphone jack remotely to your sound system. Okay, I think all you need is a Bluetooth receiver. There are many of them, for sure. I don't have a particular preference. I think you're going to need to find, obviously, if you are in the UK, it's a different version of Amazon, but Bluetooth. There is one that I recently did use for my son. We got him a little driving car, like a remote control car that basically he can be in. So it's like a car that he can drive when he's older, but it basically it moves around for that. So the only thing is a low latency. That's the biggest thing to get. Yeah, I got the. So, what I was saying was that I got it for him so that he could actually listen to like it had a headphone jack for sound to the speakers that were in the car. So I basically programmed it to have a Bluetooth receiver, and then it could work with like my phone, and I could play music through it. But there are lots of them. This one is currently on sale in the US, so you would hopefully get the UK counterpart to it, but that's a link for it. But if you are connecting to a TV, you are going to want something that has labeled as low latency, which there are a lot of them, and they can range in price dramatically. So like this one is $55 in the US. And it all depends on how good of a sound system you are hooking up to it, on how good it'll matter. And these will all basically help you though. So yeah, so those two should be good. And then this one is a little bit more of a high-end one for high quality sound, and this one is on sale for 95 bucks in the US. So hopefully those three, one of them will work out for you. It just depends on what connections you're connecting to it, and the low latency. Now, when you get it plugged in too, you can also look in your Bluetooth settings on your TV, and there is a latency feature on most TVs, so you can adjust it so that it matches the voice. Too soon for Rhea to get the belt. So I would say more so that Asuka just never had a good run. That's why it upset me more. Rhea winning the belt, I've followed NXT the entire time, so I don't see her as new. I see she's been around the whole time. Obviously, she had big exposure last year, if you remember, from Survivor Series to WrestleMania. The entire time she was going on SmackDown and Raw and everything like that. So she actually put in work for 3 to 4 months, but then, if you only watch SmackDown and Raw, you never saw her again after that. Since last WrestleMania, a year. And then less than a month away, she was placed in. So yeah, I do think, yes, she was put in kind of. I would have, although it would have sucked. I mean, I would have said maybe like, why not have Charlotte cause a DQ in the match, and then they could do a triple threat for the next pay-per-view or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. It was something that it was rather rushed. I wish Rhea could have been built up for at least a couple more weeks. But I get it. Charlotte was pulled, and they had to kind of make it up quickly. Have a great show as usual. Perhaps a Bluetooth transmitter would adequate for your needs. Yeah. Let's see. Did you enjoy the pay-per-view tonight? I did. I thought the first night was overall better. I mean, it's rare that you end wrestling with a heel winning. So that's was a big thing that I was kind of like, that's interesting that they would end the second night like that. But good way. I mean, it was awesome. Let's see. I read Samsung will team up with Olympus for camera quality next year. The brands are doing a partnership, but who does Apple and Google Pictures? They are in league by themselves. So one, we don't know if Olympus will really do everything with Samsung, meaning that it looks like they might be more of a Hasselblad to OnePlus, meaning they're doing the color correction for the most part and not the full, processing. Also, this is a very different thing from Hasselblad to OnePlus. OnePlus pays Hasselblad to use their name. Reportedly, this isn't the partnership has not been done and done. It is in talks right now. A lot of that is because the head of Samsung is not around, and apparently they're having a real hard issue. For those of you who don't know, he was sentenced to jail for 2.5 years as of January. They're having a hard time getting approvals done. There's like a void basically, and no one has kind of stepped up to be like, okay, I am the main person now. And this should have been taken care of before he went to jail. But basically, while they're in talks, it seems it's the opposite of Hasselblad and OnePlus, meaning that actually Olympus is the one offering their services to Samsung. And it looks like I don't know what the exchange is going to be, because if Olympus is offering, then is Samsung going to just get a way better deal than Hasselblad had to? Like, Samsung going to pay Olympus way less, or maybe, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. Maybe Olympus will only get paid per phone sold. Maybe it's a very interesting thing. What's going to happen with that partnership? But it's in talks right now, and it's not fully done. And I really do think that honestly, I know you said Apple and Samsung, whoever does their processing is, you know, in a league by themselves. I mean, I love my Pixel. I have my Pixel 5 right here. But when it comes to the best photos, I still prefer the Samsung. And I think that's just because of the hardware they have. So yes, software could be better. But if someone does nail software with them, like Olympus, I think they're going to be really hard to beat for sure. And I think it's going to be also Samsung making, you know, like right now they're making their own sensors and all these different things to really be on their own level hardware wise. So it'll be really interesting to see how they go software wise. Where can I buy an official S Pen replacement tips for the Note 20 Ultra? I can't seem to find them on Samsung's website. Thanks for helping. Um, I mean, if they're not on Samsung's website, you can only go so many places. Like I know Best Buy has sold them in the past. S Pen tips. And other than that, I mean, I'm trying to search for that right now, but yeah, I mean, you can buy like an S Pen, and that will come with tips. It'll come with replacement tips, but yeah, you can't buy official ones. But like these are very highly rated, and they work with everything from the Note 9 and older. So, or wait, you said for the S20 Ultra, so I don't know. I don't think these will work for that one then. Because they did change the tip, if I'm not mistaken, with that year. Tab S7. 20. Okay, so I'm seeing a couple different ones. These are the top rated ones for the Note 20 Ultra tip replacements. And I mean, they're very cheap, obviously, because they're not that expensive, but those will be it. So I just put the link in the description, $6. All right, I just bought Samsung A71 5G ultra wide. Should it update to Android 11? It will get the update to Android 11 if it hasn't already, but I mean, Samsung has been really good about updating ultra wides with their carrier. So ultra wide usually is Verizon, so I'm guessing that's who you got it from. But yeah, usually they do upgrade, and they're getting better at this over the past year and a half. So I would say you should get it in the upcoming months if when they roll it out for the A70 for the A series. I know not all the A series has gotten it yet. Do you think or know if Verizon will get the new Samsung A52? I saw other carriers did, but not Verizon. Maybe they have to make a special ultra wide version. Yes, they would be making an ultra wide version if they do get it, and it all depends if Samsung wants to, or sorry, Verizon wants to get it. I could see Verizon more getting like the A72 and the A like, you know, 32. Like they typically don't like to get the middle. They'll go higher and lower, but we'll have to wait and see. My cousin bought a Samsung A72. It's the same performance as the S21 Plus, only camera slightly better in gaming. I can tell you the A52 that I got definitely doesn't have the same kind of camera quality. I've been testing it out. Will you review the A72 and the A52 and the A72? I probably won't review them. I rarely do reviews on phones, but I will be doing like a hidden features, all that kind of stuff on the phone. That's what I'm working on right now. So yeah, I'm gonna give my first impressions video does go over some of the basics. And in terms of actually reviewing it, though, probably not. Um, yeah, it's just what I don't typically review the devices. Are you getting the Fold 3 with a smaller battery, Quad HD plus, 120 hertz? Just not enough. Will I be getting it? Yes. I will be because because I'm a YouTuber, influencer. Because of that, yes, I will be getting it. But it definitely is something that it's for me. It's definitely not in terms of it. Like, how can I put this? For me, doing this is just because of that. I don't know if I would get it if it wasn't if I wasn't an influencer or tech, because I haven't minded my time without the Fold. I do miss it in some things, but it definitely has to have the camera. I mean, the tricky thing is will I return the Fold? That is a possibility for me. That is more what I'm looking at, because if it's really not worth it, I can't see myself keeping it this year. Um, can you suggest a battery monitor app for Android that shows the battery health of the phone? No, because pretty much every Android phone has it in the corner. You just probably need to search. So if you go to settings on your phone, search for battery percentage. You can probably just go to percentage. Yeah. So if you just start typing in percentage, it's the first thing that comes up. Show battery percentage, and you'll see where to find it. So for Samsung, it's under advanced settings. For the Pixel, right here, show battery percentage, it's in battery. So it's always available in Android, but they do move it depending on which Android you have. So just do that, and then you're set. We know you don't like Chinese phone brands because availability in the U.S. I got only $400. What would be good? Nokia, Moto G phones, LG, Sony. I mean, between those, I talked about on the Tech Deals, Daily Tech Deals, the LG V60, which has the best processor of last year, has great, phenomenal cameras and good photo and video, and has 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, is on sale for 400 right now. You could not get a better $400 phone right now. And that is brand new, by the way, too. It's GSM unlocked, so I'm not sure which carrier you're with, but that would easily be the best one for 400. If you just go to our website, youtubetechguy.com, under tech deals, it is on there under the smartphones, and you can see a bunch of other smartphones in that same price range to kind of compare what's the best right now. I personally wouldn't get a Nokia just because I haven't seen them do really good camera quality, to be quite honest. Sony is fine. I think they're really good, but they don't go on sale as much as I would like them to. So for that reason, I think LG is going to be the way to go for that price range. But I mean, there's some Samsung ones a little bit higher priced. And like even this one isn't a bad one. This one is the international version of the Galaxy A52. Great battery life, good phone overall. The camera is a mid-range camera. That's the biggest thing I'm noticing, but everything else is fine. Can you suggest a phone with an OLED that uses a Snapdragon processor that does not crop videos when you go full screen? I think it has something to do with the screen ratio. Um, so yeah, there is no. So Yeah, the screen ratio is the problem, and it's not something that any smartphone really does well right now, because all of our smartphones are no longer 16 by 9 for the most part. All of our smartphones are 18 by 9, 19 by 9, 21 by 9 aspect ratios, meaning that if you watch a 16 by 9 video, those 2 inches more basically are given to black bars. So that will be on all smartphones. If you pinch to zoom, making it full screen, quote unquote, what you're doing is then stretching a 16 by 9 aspect ratio to be those 2 inches wider. The problem is that you go 2 inches wider that way, and it is, as you say, cropped. So yes, you're going to get it cut off. My video, again, is filmed in 16 by 9. So if you are watching on another smartphone, any modern day smartphone, as soon as you pinch to zoom, you're going to get this part pretty much probably right here, and you're going to get like this part probably right here. So it's going to cut and zoom into me. And that's just in the state of things. The opposite would actually be true, which is that certain videos are filmed in 18 by 9, 21 by 9 aspect ratios, and some content creators feel that they should be doing this more. I disagree with that, because 16 by 9 still is the predominant, by far, aspect ratio of all things. Like, your TVs are 16 by 9. Pretty much most monitors, although that has changed, are 16 by 9. Pretty much all laptops are 16 by 9. Pretty much all tablets are 16 by 9 except for iPads. And again, although phones are a different aspect ratio, they have gotten taller, 16 by 9 still fills it for the most part. So because of that, that is why you get that crop. Are you going to be reviewing the A72? Like I said, I will be doing videos with my first impressions and thoughts on the A52, but I probably will not be doing a full review for it. I'll be doing hidden features, how to, speed up the battery, all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff we'll be doing for sure. Is there a way to separate a phone call and listen to music at the same time with the Samsung separate audio? I haven't messed with that as much, and obviously I haven't had people over, so I haven't. So since they've done that, I have not really felt a need to do it. So I do not know off the top of my head. I unfortunately do not know. So if I select that as one, yeah, I would have to see, because so when I turn the separate audio app on, I can select an app like YouTube Music or YouTube as the app to go through my Bluetooth device, and then theoretically I should be able to do like use my phone, but I'm not sure if the phone app when you get a call pauses the music just entirely. I would have to test that out, and I just haven't done it yet. So yeah, sounds interesting though. It sounds like that's exactly what the app was made for, so I would assume that would work, but yeah, I would have to test it out. Has anyone else on T-Mobile had the security update since February? Yeah, I have. What up, buddy? So the Note 21 will probably come out February 2022. What are your thoughts? Yeah, so the Note 21 or the Note 2022, just to keep in line with the S series. Samsung has done it before. Yeah, it probably won't come out till then. However, it is a possibility, by the way, that it still can come out at the same time as the normal Note came out. I think it really is going to depend on the processor shortage by then and if it's turned around. Samsung is making a facility in Texas, so we'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest thing is what state we are in processors. Because even Apple, the one that was thought to be untouchable when it came to the processor shortage, is now apparently feeling it. Like just this week, they are going to, they're showing signs that basically they are going to have less and less production than they used to because of that processor shortage. Um, Apple has Apple YouTubers confused. No one knows what the heck is going on. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That like, well, what do you mean there's no April event? What do you mean there's no March event? What do you mean there's no May event? Yeah, they've had them pretty confused, and it has been hilarious. Do you like John B? Of course you know. Of course you do. But enough about Ricky's recent throwbacks. Your pics. Oh, you think I look like John B? I have gotten that before. I have gotten John B before. If you do know, if you did check out our any of our social media, Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, I did post younger pictures of me. I was a big. My nickname back in the day was Double R, Ricky Ricardo, and so that basically stuck with me a lot. So I loved Rough Riders, DMX, all those kind of things. Grew up with, and that's why that did hit me harder. I literally had like 4 friends reach out to me like, dude, first person I thought of when DMX passed away was you. Like, I just find that really funny because it was hilarious to me because I'm just like people knew that it was gonna hit me hard. I mean, this year has just not been good for me so far. I don't know how. I told a friend that the other day. 2021 has actually sucked worst so far for me than 2020 did. Yeah. Hopefully we'll turn it around now. So yeah. All right. But yes, 51st date questions was the plug. So let me get to that part. So a lighter note. 51st date questions is the game that I did create. It's a fun little game that you can download right now on the Android or Apple App Store. Really fun. Just play on a first date. I've had great comments from you guys about it, that you guys like it. So thank you for that. And again, if you want to play it, just download it. It's a free app, no purchases required. Just have fun on your date, and it's great for an icebreaker or great for just a random date that you are with your significant other, just to catch up on what kind of life goals and things that you might not know about them anymore because people change. So yeah, links in the description down below to download. What up, bro? I'm from Pakistan. What up, sir? How you doing? Um, what processor is the S21 FE going to have? Should be an upgrade from the S10. Yeah, I think it'll probably have a Snapdragon like, what are we at right now? I think the main mid-range one is 730, 735, something like that. I haven't kept up with the processors as much this year. But yeah, that one is probably going to be the one that's on there. Basically, the highest 5G 700 series is what we expect on there. Makes sense with the Rough Rider stuff. RIP DMX. Yeah, yeah. I had some friends even in high school call me Triple R. They were like, and they always said it this way. I still hear them saying this way. Rough Rider Ricky. So yeah, so it was just again just all the flood back. I literally, and my wife saw me doing it too. She was like, "You're really buying Rough Rider clothes and all that kind of stuff." I'm like, I feel like I forgot where I came from. Like I don't own any Rough Rider clothes anymore, and I miss that jacket, that burgundy jacket I had in the second shirt. I miss that jacket. I was like, dang, whatever happened to that? I think I lost it when we moved and stuff. The first time when I moved in with my wife. But yeah, I was just like, man, like, so, you know, so it was just, it was a throwback, and I just started buying some Rough Rider shirts and all that guys. I was like, gotta remember where I came from. I gotta, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it was funny. Nothing like something happening where you remember what's gonna, how it was before, kind of thing. Back in the day, when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Um, Do you think it will have a Snapdragon 888? I do not think the FE will have Snapdragon 888 because, again, it needs to be somewhat lower than the regular S21, or else why would you get, the S21 FE has to be cheaper than the S21. Cutting down the processor is the easy way to make it like, oh, look, it cost us less money, so we can make it less. And how many consumers will really care? Not that many. But the really interesting thing is the price point, because if they make the FE like around $500, maybe $600 normal price when it goes on sale for the holidays, $450, Samsung is gonna make money. They did very well in Q4 last year because of the FE. It continuously went on sale for the holidays for $500 and was even the free phone in a lot of instances for those special holiday deals. So that's what the FE is going to be this year, and people were happy with the FE. That's the thing. Like, for the price and what they got, they were happy with it. So that's the big thing. And I think the FE having the S21 cameras is honestly really big, because I think it will be better than the A series cameras, which aren't as good in terms of it. So that I do think is going to be really big. If the S21 FE has the same cameras, that alone will be worth it for a lot of people that want to bump up from the A series. So yeah. I remember way back when. Thank you for getting the reference of back in the day. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any other questions, or else we will. Ow. The arm does hurt, man. And here's the thing. I will say, from my own personal experience with the vaccine, everyone's different. Everyone's body's different. It did not hurt at all when I got it. Like, first of all, the pharmacist, boop, like real quick with it. But when I got it, arm felt a little like weaker and everything like that, but didn't feel that bad. But yeah, when I was like shaving, I was like looking like this, and I raised my left arm about, oh, like, so yeah, there is that little pain in it, but honestly, I just like feel in a better mood since I got it. Like, I'm just like, yes, like, it kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. So again, we don't want to talk about politics and all that kind of stuff here, but I will say, like, I'm looking forward to going to a movie theater again, and I already got my second one scheduled, and I'm just, you guys know me. I love movies, and I've missed movie theaters. I really have. And I told my wife, like, 2 weeks after, because by the way, that is just, again, not to get into news kind of thing, but it's not effective till 2 weeks after the second dose, or 2 weeks after the one dose if you're doing the J&J. But yeah, so I cannot. 2 weeks after, I'm like, I feel comfortable going to restaurants. I feel comfortable going into movie theaters. I just I can't wait. So yeah. All right. Coming in late. Did you talk about the Epic throwing Apple under the bus for not releasing iMessage on Android? It was an interesting read. I didn't, because we've talked about it before. I literally have talked about iMessage, and I've done tech rants about Google not doing their own version and all that kind of stuff and everything like that. But of course, Apple was full of it. Like, of course. Like, if they made iMessage for Android, Apple would sell at least 50% less. And that's not an exaggeration at all. Apple would sell so much less, because iMessage and FaceTime are the two biggest things keeping people on iOS, more than anything else that Apple does. Because what is Apple without their ecosystem? Really? I mean, what are they without their ecosystem? What do they have that is so appealing without their ecosystem? It's the biggest thing they have. The fact that you have iMessage and FaceTime, if it came to Android, so many people would leave them. Battery life, there's better. Cameras, there's been better for a long time. So it's just like, I mean, widgets, there's better. App drawers, there's better. Like, it's just, Apple has not been ahead of the curve for so many years in a lot of things. Not in everything. They've obviously really done an amazing job with the M1 processor, and I continuously say that, and I cannot wait for Chromebooks to copy and do better because they have the opportunity because they have touchscreen. But yeah, it really is such a thing where it's something that I really think that, like, no hesitation whatsoever, 50% of people would leave iPhones if iMessage was on Android. Easily. Just not even a second thought. Any plans on getting the OnePlus 9 Pro? I don't know. I think I can do full disclosure. I didn't sign an NDA with them. OnePlus reached out to me. They said they were going to send me the device. Checked with them last Monday, followed up with them. Hey, are you guys going to send me a tracking number when you guys send it out? Is it still planning on? Oh, yeah, we're definitely going to send it out to you. And yes, we're going to send a tracking number. Didn't hear from them for the rest of the week. You know, so yeah. Yes, I had planned on getting it. Yes, I had planned on, reviewing it, but at least doing an unboxing by now. Waiting on them. So that's all I can do. But yeah. I was going to get the OnePlus 9 originally too, but the lack of optical image stabilization made me like, if I was going to get it for my personal, I'd probably get it a OnePlus 8 Pro then. But yeah, and that was on sale for daily tech deals. I know I keep trying to plug it, but that one was on sale and it had free earbuds with it. So I would have gotten that one definitely, I realized, instead of the OnePlus 9. Without optical image stabilization, the OnePlus 9 is just not worth getting, even though it has the same cameras. But without the stabilization, I would definitely have to get the OnePlus 9 Pro or the OnePlus 8 Pro. Speaking of which, thoughts on Godzilla vs. Kong? I loved Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm not gonna do a movie review for it. I think it was just didn't have the time when it came out, so I saw it like a week late. But Godzilla vs. Kong, absolutely loved it. Great throwdown, big blockbuster movie. I saw it on HBO Max. Didn't go to the movie theater, but yeah, I loved it. I thought it was really awesome. If you wanted to see two kaiju monsters basically go at it, it's awesome for that reason, for sure. Are you getting better 5G in your house now that you got the vaccine? Pharmacist giving shots all day at Choco. Yeah, no, I am not getting better 5G. And I was hoping, I mean, it was supposed to have a 5G chip in it, not better 5G signal. So I guess debunk that theory. I was going to post something like that too. I was going to be like, I can confirm that I have my mini EMP pulse over here. Nothing happened with the chip. I didn't feel anything, so I guess we're safe. But yeah, no. All right, guys. So much fun talking to you guys as always. Really appreciate you guys always tuning into the live show. It means a lot. Thank you guys for the super chat donations. Thank you guys for just watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you do want to keep seeing those tech deal daily deals, please watch them more. Give them thumbs up. Let me know that they're worth making, because I do spend, again, about 3 or 4 hours making that, and it's just not getting the return on investment that I had hoped. So I'll keep doing it for 2 more months, but basically if I don't, or sorry, 2 more weeks. So basically if we don't see an uptick by the end of April, I probably will stop doing those. More content coming, including the one for members. I know I promised you guys last week. It wasn't able to do it this week. Just had stuff come up. But I will definitely do a lot of stuff tomorrow. I got a whole schedule mapped out. I think that's what a lot of this stuff is just scheduling everything. So yes, members will get an exclusive video soon that gives a real deep dive into something. So yeah. All right. How much is the 5G signal out there? How much is 5G signal out there? My 5G is really bad. If you watched our T-Mobile home internet video, I showed what the 5G signal was capable of. Not that good in my house. Great if I lived, a mile down the other way, closer to the 5G tower. but not right by me. So yeah. Alright guys, thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please, if you can, hit the like thumbs up before you leave. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me.